Hello, this is my week 4 One Piece market analysis for my 5 cards to buy and to sell. So getting right into it with the sell cards, I think this My Era Begins Blackbeard event card. I think this card's a good sell because its value increased 223% already over the last 30 days as a result of its use with the OP16 Teach leader, which is obviously a very meta deck right now. I don't think this card is going to increase further from its current point because seemingly OP17 doesn't support OP16 Teach very much to make it more meta than it already is. And this card is quite tied to OP16 Teach, given that its main event only really looks for Blackbeard type cards. Also, it recently hit its highest ever price on the 24th, which was $2.36. It recently went back down to $2.26, and it currently has a listed median of only $2.37. So even the listed median is barely a cent higher than the peak price a few days ago. In a similar vein, I think this Marshall D. Teach card is also a good sell. This is a black character card whose value increased as a result of being connected to OP16 Teach. Precisely, it increased about 140% over the last 30 days. And the previous event card, it's very tied to OP16 Teach and Black Pirates leaders in general. And similar reasoning, OP17 seemingly doesn't support OP16 Teach that much. There's nothing to me that supports that this card's value will further increase. So if it's not going to increase, it'll likely stagnate at best, decline at worst. So speculating that it will stagnate or decline, I'm thinking it's a best card that is best sold. Supporting that, it also recently hit its highest ever price of $3.77 on the 20th. It went down to $2.45 since. There's a $4 median, but none of the cards have sold for that price since the dip, so I don't think this median is getting reached anytime soon. I think this Ben Beckman, also OP09, is a best sold card. It's a red character card whose value is quite closely tied to Red Shanks due to it being a red-haired pirate and it being supported by other Red Shanks cards. It had strong 6 and 3 month growth, respectively. It had 292% growth and 44% growth for those two terms, with weaker 1 month growth, albeit it's still growth. Red Shanks, like Blackbeard, like OP16 Blackbeard, isn't supported as much in OP17, and obviously Red Shanks is a meta deck, but there's nothing in OP17 or the upcoming set that makes me think this card is going to, in the future, gain value. Supporting that, the card's price recently peaked on the 8th at $3.04, and it's since declined to about $2.51, with a median of only $2.99. Similarly, I think this Shanks OP06 card is a best sold card. Obviously, it's a red character card whose value is mostly tied to OP6 or the Red Shanks leader, given that it's a Red Shanks type card. I think this character is also best sold not only because it's had a spike in price recently, but also because it's stage 2 and it will soon be going out of professional and formal play in general. So even if, by whatever miracle, Red Shanks becomes even more meta than it already is, this card doesn't have long, so it's pretty low risk, I feel like. It had strong growth over the last 30 days, given that it's such an old card. It's had 41% growth. Like I said, it isn't supported by OP17, so it likely won't gain further value. There is the red OP17 Whitebeard, but as far as I'm aware, there aren't any red 4 Emperors or film cards that I'm aware of that would make it a good pick for OP17 Whitebeard, so I don't think this card's going to have new life for that particular leader. Supporting that, it also recently hit its peak value of $3.67 on the 24th, since declined to about $3.42, and the median listing is only worth about $3.99. So I think this is best sold. Lastly, I have this Borsellino card. I think this is another best sold card. But the difference is with the other cards, this is a really strong yellow card, and it's not particularly tied to any deck. But what leads me to believe this is a best sold card is that it's seen pretty good growth over the last 30 days. And I don't see any reason as to why this growth would be increased. What we've seen is that it shot up 55% and it's mostly been stagnant since it went up. So I think at that current price point it's best sold. The only upcoming yellow leader that I'm aware of that can utilize this card is Big Mom, since it's the only new yellow leader and all the OP17 leaders are all monocolor. Unless OP17 Big Mom is incredibly meta, I don't really see the value for this card particularly increasing from its already relatively high demand. It's used in nearly every yellow deck that I've seen since it adds life cards with its on-play effect. Supporting that recently hit its peak on the 7th. This is from the shooting up 55%, and it's since been pretty stagnant. It dipped after that, but on the 24th, it returned to about $3.33. It's now worth about $31, and the median is only about $35. So as a result, I think this card is best sold. Just for now, obviously it's a good card. I'd hold or even buy at 15, maybe even 20. But at $30, with how stagnant it's been, I think it's best sold. Moving on to the cards to buy. I think this Nico Robin card is a really good buy. It has a similar-ish on play to Borsalino in that it adds life cards, but it's specifically tied to Straw Hat leaders. And with the value declined over the last 30 days, which I think presents a good opportunity to buy. Obviously, it's less widely applicable than the Borsalino because its on play is tied to a Straw Hat leader type, but I think that's probably what's led to its decline is that it's mostly played with blue, yellow Nami. But the thing is, its specificity can lead to its decline, but it can also lead to it being incredibly successful. And whenever like new yellow Straw Hat leader, sorry for that, a new yellow Straw Hat leader is ever announced, this card will likely spike as a result. And I think that's likely given that obviously there's new Straw Hat leaders all the time, and there's new multicolored leaders all the time. So for this card to really increase in value from its current point, it really just needs to have one leader that can use it. Currently, the only one that's really using it is, I just said, Blue Yellow Nami. Currently, the card is worth about $10, and it has a median of about $13.44, a median listing price of about $13.44. So I think at this price, it's a good buy. And this indicates that a lot of people are speculating that the value of this card will go higher. So moving on, I think this Kujiaku card is a really good buy as well. It's affordable. It's an alt-art SR character card. I think this card's potential value comes from the fact that it's very closely tied to Navy with its very specific on-play ability. The value declined over the last 30 days, which I think presents a good opportunity to buy. I think this card's value would likely increase if there was ever another red Navy leader, whenever that leader might be announced. I think this is likely since there's only two currently playable red Navy leaders. None of them are really meta either, so they haven't really gotten very much support. But Navy are a major faction, so it's very likely that at some point in the future they will get a new red leader. The card itself is currently worth $9.96, and it has a median of $14.12, which is pretty good for an alt-art SR. And the fact that the median is proportionally a good bit higher than the current worth shows that a lot of people are speculating it'll go higher. It's down over the last 30 days, but from what I've seen, it's increasing right now. So I think this Sanji card, this EBF4 or OP15 card, it's an affordable yellow alt-art rare of a popular character, obviously Sanji. And the value of this card has been basically stagnant since early May. It's been around $8. So interestingly enough, neither when attacking nor on its KO effect, it has some leader specificity. It's very non-specific, so you can use it in a lot of yellow decks. I think it has the potential to go up for OP17 Big Mom, depending on its effects and whether or not it's a good match. But even then, a lot of future yellow cards can likely use it. And it's such a new card, it's rotation 4, so it'll be in the game for a long time. So there's a lot of time for the value to go up. If it does spike for Big Mom, I think it would probably be a good sell, but the value is otherwise stagnant, so it's a pretty safe buy. It's currently valued at $8.61 and with a median of $10. I forgot to mention that previously, that another reason for this card is that it's also a really new card. But moving on to my fourth buy, I think this Perona card has a lot of potential in the upcoming OP16 set. It's a relatively affordable green SR, and I think it might have value with the upcoming green Shanks leader. So basically the price has remained essentially stagnant since early October, so it's not majorly increasing or decreasing. It's been around $6 the entire time. This card isn't tied to any specific leader or type, interestingly. It's actually tied to whether or not your leader has the slash attribute. I think it's likely that the green Shanks leader will have the slash attribute, since every other Shanks leader has had it in the past. In which case, this card would likely increase a lot in value. You could probably sell it, but otherwise, this card is stagnant. It's currently valued at $6.97 and with a median of $8. Lastly, I think also this Shanks character card probably also would be pretty valuable in the new Shanks leader set. It's a very affordable green SR of what is a popular character with a lot of potential meta value. It's down 17% over the last 6 months from $7.79 to 33 cents, but it's now back up to about 65 cents after the green Shanks leader announcement. We don't know specifically as of yet, as of today's date, June 26th, what the green Shanks effects will be, but this card will likely share all of the same types as the leader, being Film, the Four Emperors, and Red-Haired Pirates, which is a really good sign for its potential synergies with the leader itself and with other Four Emperors and Red-Haired Pirate cards. So I think it's a really good sign for their potential synergy. The card is currently valued at about 65 cents with a median value of 75 cents, so I think at this point it's a good buy. Even then, it's low risk since it's been pretty stagnant for the last 3 months, even if it doesn't go up for the Shanks. And it has upward potential if this is a really good match for that leader. So that is the end of my analysis. Thank you very much and have a good day.